Okay, so I was feeling sleepy, but I stopped myself from sleeping because I knew that I wanted to record and put this stuff out there as soon as possible so that I could just go off my plate because I had been procrastinating a lot about stuff. And I said I was gonna do the recording by 3 a.m. However, I live close to a club, so 3 a.m. is always the time that's I'm sure that they're gonna be quiet by then. However, they shut up. They really went to bed before 3. But because I had programmed my mind, I would be doing it by 3. I just sat here watching watching stuff online, and I just had to force myself to do this so that I can catch some sleep. So here it is. I suddenly stumbled on something. I stumbled on something recently, and that was astronomy. When I say stumble, I don't mean that I've never known about astronomy before. What I mean is that I started taking it a little bit more seriously, So, astronomical dates are different from astrological dates. And further research showed that astrology is just like a religion, Astronomy is a thing that happens and you can take a telescope out and see it for yourself. Astronomy is observable, whereas astrology is what it is. So because of that, I'm making this video because I've been seeing people saying that we're in the Gemini month, Gemini year, Gemini season, and I know that I am not in Gemini season. The feelings and the emotions and the things happening in my body are not Gemini things. So I decided to make this video to remind myself that I'm where I'm meant to be, and there's no need to fret or shake or bother myself about it. So by the end of this video, I would have put the following out there to remind myself of what's going on. Number 1, the characteristics of Taurus as an astrological sign, the astrological dates of the sun's transit to Taurus, the 3 different groups of Taurus, what the sun's transit in Taurus means for each group, what the sun's transit in Taurus means for some other signs of the zodiac, then celebrities born under the Taurus sun sign. And as a bonus, I'm going to add the moon in Taurus. Taurus, Babu. That's what we're talking about. Now, without further okay, now so that I can get this done, try to get some sleep, let's dive right in. So while I was carrying out my research, I came across this story. I'm gonna read it right now. The strong scent of freshly brewed coffee filled the air as Eliza meticulously arranged her desk. Every pen was in its designated holder, every paper perfectly aligned. Her calendar, meticulously planned months in advance, dictated her day with comforting precision. This is just giving so much Taurus energy, and it's even reminding me of someone that I know who is Taurus. It's reminding me of Mma Chi. I mean, let's not talk about Mma Chi right now though. Another productive week she mused, a small smile playing on her lip. Then the email arrived. Urgent restructuring. immediate project reassignments. Eliza's brow furrowed. The email detailed sweeping changes, a new team, and entirely different project scopes. Her heart, usually so steady, began to thump with an unfamiliar rhythm. Her mind, so accustomed to order, reeled at the thought of the upheaval. Yes, whenever something happens to change the course of a Taurus, they can't understand it. Taurus fight with themselves a lot, blame themselves, call themselves stagnated once they are going outside the list in front of them. Taurus is the to-do list kind of person. Even if they want to say, I don't have a physical to-do list, they have mental to-do list. And if they are not checking those boxes, they are not feeling like they are doing anything. So yeah, Taurus is known for his grounded, stable, and often unyielding nature. How might these characteristics, while providing security and reliability, clash with the need for flexibility and adaptation in rapidly changing personal or professional circumstances? Anything concern me, concern now. Okay, well, later that day, as Eliza grappled with the implications of the restructuring, she found herself craving comfort. She imagined soft cashmere, a gourmet meal, perhaps a new piece of art for her already tasteful decorated apartment, a new vintage wine to savour. The thought of such indulgences brought a momentary calm to her troubled mind. Which reminds me of something that... Okay, let me just finish this gist. I will go to talk about what we've been experiencing lately later on. I deserve it, she told herself, reaching for her credit card. But then a flicker of concern, a long-term investment plan, her carefully cultivated savings. Would a sudden splurge jeopardize them? She knew she enjoyed the finer things, but she also valued her financial independence above all else. Eliza decided to postpone her shopping trip. Instead, she spent the evening researching the new project, finding a methodical way to approach the chaotic changes, which is one thing I love about Taurus. They are so strict with the way things go. They have a process through these things, which helps for neurodivergent fellows like me. Yeah, so I'm really basking in this whole Sun in Taurus transit because I'm seeing myself being more detail oriented and I'm enjoying it. However, there's always that sighted, which is what the moon brings, which we'll talk about later before the end of this. But she found comfort in creating a temporary routine. The scent of her favorite lavender candle filled the room as she walked, a small luxury that brought a sense of peace without breaking the bank. By morning, she had a tentative plan, a sense of control reasserted. However, the next team meeting proved challenging. A new team leader, Liam, was a whirlwind of spontaneous ideas and rapid-fire decisions. This guy be trying to ruin Eliza's life. So Liam was constantly pivoting based on new information. Eliza, rooted in her detailed plan, found herself bristling when Liam suggested a completely different approach to their core task, one that seemed unproven and risky. Eliza's usual patience wore thin. She knew her way was the most stable and reliable, and she wasn't about to deviate. Taurus individuals are often perceived as patient and steadfast, but their deep-seated desire for routine and resistance to change can sometimes be mistaken for stubbornness or an unwillingness to consider new perspective. However, this characteristic, while ensuring dedication and follow-through, creates tension in relationships where compromise and open-mindedness are essential. What do you think, Elisa? Anybody really ask me this question, Sha? Well, first off, I'm not the kind of person who thinks anyone should bend for anyone when it doesn't benefit them. I'm always of the opinion that if I'm happy and you're happy with my happiness, then let's do this. But if you're happy and I'm not happy, and I don't like being not happy, and you're enjoying my not being happy, then we're not doing this. But in a work setting, I have observed that there is always the one with the upper hand and the one trying to hold on to the hand. So if you're not a diehard like me who is going to stick with what makes them happy and what makes the other person happy, then just bend over backwards for Liam, Elisa. However, so that I stay true to myself and at the same time I can say something probably useful to Elisa. My advice to Elisa is to make sure that the risk she perceives are not just in her head, because sometimes the astronomical transits be doing stuff that we don't understand. So let her be sure that what she perceives as being risky is stricto sensu actually risky, not something that is going on in her head. So how would she be able to determine this? Taurus are good communicators. She should sit down and go step by step, because they are also very practical people. So she should go practically with Liam through it, the whole plan. Liam might even end up seeing that, there's some loopholes and lapses, and they can come to something that they are both proud of. But if Liam still is stuck in his ways and says this is his way or the highway, then she has to ask herself, this risk, is it something that can jeopardize my work in this organization? And if it is something that can jeopardize her work in this organization, she should wash her hands off of it and leave Liam to his devices. But if her job is not going to be on the line, then she should just actively support Liam in his ways, because Taurus guys love to do heavy lifting, love to move things around. So she should just do that for Liam. And who knows, she might learn a thing or two from this experience. And as she already said that she has the way that she does it, and she sees that way as being reliable and ironclad, she might learn a thing or two to fine-tune it. That's all I gotta say for Elisa. And having said that, that was exhausting. Man, therapy is a treasure. Whoosh. Sit down and listen to people's problems and give them solution. Wow. What are the astronomical dates of the sun's transit to Taurus? These dates are actually different from the astrological dates, because like I said, astrology is the religion that comes from studying astronomy, whereas astronomy is the thing you can see with your eyes, is the thing you can feel with your hands. Astronomy is facts, rock solid, ironclad facts. Astrology is just the way we explain it to ourselves. May 14th to June 19th, the sun is in Taurus, and it is Taurus season. Applause. So let's take one more story before we continue. Clara, a Taurus through and through, hummed contentedly as she arranged her meticulously organized spice rack. The thing you must notice about Taurus, they're so clean, they're so organized. Some people might say they have OCD. It ain't OCD. It's called Taurus energy. Yeah. So every jar was labeled, every scent familiar and comforting. That's the way their brain can really process stuff. If you put a Taurus in an unorganized and disorganized environment, and you see them not trying to organize that environment, then just know that something is wrong with that Taurus. Be scared, be worried when your Taurus is disorganized, because mentally, organization supports their breathing. So if your Taurus friend, relative or whatever is not trying to organize stuff, or is not in an organized space, they are not breathing well. They are not breathing well at all. So Clara was hosting a small, intimate dinner party, a rare indulgence given her demanding schedule. She cherished these evenings, the soft laughter, the shared stories, the feeling of warmth and connection. Her partner, David, why should it be David? Her partner, no name given, a free-spirited artist, often joked about her comfort zone. Why would someone who likes organization go and follow somebody who does not like organization? Clara, check it. Let that not be a trauma response, please. Clara saw it as her comfort, Clara saw her comfort zone as her sanctuary. This evening was precisely that, a haven of familiar faces and cherished routines. The first guest to arrive, however, brought immediate disruption. It was Leo, a mutual friend who, despite Clara's detailed instructions, showed up an hour late. Then immediately launched into a loud animated story about a recent chaotic backpacking trip. He gestured wildly, accidentally knocking over a decorative vase. Why is Clara having a lot of unorganized people in her life? Is she trying to heal a trauma wound or something? Because I don't understand. She just end up being a mother to so many people and not feeling served. Well, let's keep reading this story. So the vase that Leo knocked over was a gift from Clara's grandmother. The shattered porcelain shattered across Clara's pristine floor, a stark contrast to the harmonious evening she had envisioned. Clara felt her carefully constructed calm shatter with it. Her comfortable space was invaded, her routine broken. Oh, the flower vase was her routine. She probably was cleaning that stuff every morning. I'm not dissing Taurus though. But seriously, I would really be giving the Taurus in my life a lot of headache. I really would. If I have someone who has Taurus in sun sign Taurus or moon sign Taurus, they will not be happy around me because I'm really laser free and stuff like that. So I should put more effort into helping the Taurus in my life. More concrete effort, more practical effort. Hanging that on my to-do list. And you can take that advice as well if it fits for you in this time and space. So her comfortable space was invaded, her routine broken, and her peace disrupted by external chaos. The silent tension in the room was palpable, and the comforting atmosphere Clara had built was crumbling. Just as Clara felt a wave of frustration wash over her, her sister Beatrice arrived. Beatrice, also a Taurus, surveyed the scene with a calm, discerning eye. Without a word, she moved directly to the broken vase, assessing the damage. You see clean break on a few pieces, Clara, she stated, her voice even and reassuring. So maybe it's not a trauma response. Beatrice is in Clara's life, because if Clara is just mothering everyone and doesn't have anybody to mother, anybody to be that reassuring voice for her, really, Clara is not breathing. But seeing Beatrice enter the story right now, we know that Clara is breathing. But let's continue. For now, let's get these shards cleared. Leo, could you grab the dustpan from under the sink? And Clara, I brought the charcuterie board. Let's get that set up while I help you sweep. Won't the Taurus in my life be pleased with hearing me say the words I want to help you clean? As excited as I think they would be, I would rather say the words, I brought this person to help you clean. Yeah, I think that's the only compromise that we have there. Well, we could do dishes together. Enough about me. So back to Clara. It's best served at room temperature for the flavor. Beatrice's clear, practical instructions delivered with a calm authority and an acute attention to detail quickly diffused the tension Leo caused. Leo, chastened, busied himself with the dustpan, and Clara, grateful for Beatrice's grounded presence and clear direction, found herself moving with purpose again. The immediate crisis was managed, the remnants of the chaos efficiently tidied, and the focus shifted back to the tangible preparations for the evening. Dinner proceeded smoothly, thanks to Beatrice's quiet orchestration. Later, after everyone had left, Clara, still feeling a slight residue of the evening's disruption, found herself staring at her laptop. An email from her company's headquarters flashed on the screen. Mandatory overnight training retreat. Leadership Development Initiative. In the middle of the night. It's okay. Clara had always been fiercely dedicated to her career, disciplined in her pursuit of financial security. I'm feeling sleepy. Now let's get this over with. Clara had always been fiercely dedicated to her career, disciplined in her pursuit of financial security and professional respect. This retreat, however, was in a remote location, far from her familiar routines, and more importantly, required her to miss a crucial, long-planned presentation to a key client that she had meticulously prepared for months. So Clara is at the cross now. Her internal sense of order and control, so recently restored, was now threatened again. This wasn't just an inconvenience, it felt like a direct challenge to her established path to respect and security, forcing her to choose between two equally important yet conflicting commitments. What would you have her do? I would not have her do anything at this point. I think she should just go and have a bath and go to bed. But you can see this to a Taurus, they won't listen. So I guess I will just leave it to another Taurus to say what they would have them do. Okay? Yeah. So on that note, we'll just move over to the next topic. The 3 different types of Taurus. We have the ones born from May 14th to 26th. And May 14th to 26th deals with interpersonal relationships and comfort. May 14th is the beauty date. 1 and 5. 1 and 4 is 5. May is 5, so that's 2 5s. which shows comfort, beauty, the artistic ones, you know. They move far in life via interpersonal relationships with people. So what that means is from May 14th to May 26th, anything we do towards our relationship with people will be blessed. That's what it means. Anything we do towards our relationship with people will be blessed. However, on the 26th, there might be a friction there. There might be a friction there for those people who are very sensitive. We might experience pain in our chest on the 26th or 25th or 24th. You know, it's always a 7-day back and forth stuff. However, 24th to 26th, we might experience pain in our chest because interpersonal relationship resonates at the space of the heart. So, yeah. This is so because 27th is the new moon. So, there will be that friction. And 27th is the start of the second group of the Taurus. 27th May to 7th June, the practical and great communicators, good wit and good eye for detail, which is what I think Beatrice was in this story, you know. Beatrice was the one with good eye for detail. She saw that it was just a clean cut. The face didn't scatter over there. So yeah, so I think between May 27th and June 7th, anything we do in terms of communicating with people, any events we have that communicate with people, or tries to communicate with people, such events would be blessed, you know, because the rays of the sun is sending us to go and preach the gospel, more or less. Yeah. The rays of the sun is telling us to not hold back. We should speak and allow our voice to be heard. You understand? So that's the second group. And finally, to the third group, which I think Clara belongs to, you know. All the while I was reading the story of Clara, I just kept on thinking, this girl. June 8th to 19th, they are the ambitious ones. They are the ambitious ones. The disciplined, hardworking, focused on achieving security and respect. Career means a lot to them. Yeah. So, which is why Clara is in a crossroad. She has an important client to deal with, and she also has this important work thing to do. You know, people born within these dates are always oftentimes feeling like they are not doing enough when it comes to their career path. You know, but the sun in Taurus transit, when that time comes, come to shine a light on the career path, will come to shine a light on structural discipline, will come to shine a light on ambitions, and the ones that are supposed to be done, the ones that are favorable, the ones that are not detours, will be highlighted, and we'll see it for ourselves, you know. Fourteenth to 26th, creative energy, interpersonal relationship, communicating with people, shopping, food, sex. That's Eliza. 14th to 26th. Eliza is the story of Eliza. Eliza is such a person. When times get difficult, she seeks comfort. If you were outside the sun during these days, you will know how nurturing and warm the sun was. And this sun that we're going to be experiencing from 27th to 7th of June, the sun would be different. It will be resonating at the frequency of communication. It might not be so warm, it might even be warmer. Because when you feel at home and you feel really warm, that is when you begin to speak. That is when you begin to allow your voice to be heard. And that is what this sun is coming to do, to warm us up strongly. It first of all touched our heart. Now it's touching our mouths, our throat chakras. If you notice any sore throats, anything that has to do with your throat at this moment in time, it's because you're not saying something. The sun is there supporting you. The sun is pushing you, saying, say something. You're not. So rather than pop the pills, sit with that discomfort. Begin to talk about the things that you're not talking about. Begin to let it go. Then when the sun moves again within the same Taurus cycle to the last phase, which is from June 8th to 19th, career, find yourself becoming ambitious. You find yourself lacking ambition. It is the sun that is shedding light. You're probably not a really ambitious person, but because of certain things, you have programmed yourself or raised yourself to be really ambitious. Now the sun is shining on you to bring out that ambition that you really want for yourself, not the ones that people have imposed on you, not the one that you choose for yourself to be able to feed your family because you don't know or you don't think that your real ambition is capable of feeding your family. You're not here to survive. And even if you're here to survive, you're not here just to survive. You're here to survive so hard that you begin to actually thrive. You understand what I'm saying? You already know the answer. You're here to make the journey interesting for yourself. So go ahead and choose. When the sun enters into career, nobody will tell you. You will know for yourself. You will feel it within yourself that this is what is going on. For other parts of the zodiac, they will feel it for themselves that this is what is going on. And now over to celebrity time. I actually love celebrities. I see celebrities as the racial ghouls of the planet. There's the Orion. There are so many stars in the planet. However, racial ghoul is said to be the brightest star. And that is what I see celebrities as. They are the brightest stars. The peak of what a certain profession looks like, which is why we need to be intentional about the people that we celebrate as celebrities, because they are going to be the brightest and they are going to give off rays. So if you're selecting a drug, something, I don't know, as a celebrity, the rays you're gonna give off is the one that promotes the closing of the third eye, the one that promotes languishing, the one that promotes suffering. So be mindful. Don't allow suffering to be promoted when that is not what you want to be promoted. Choose your celebrities wisely. with that being said, let me open Google real quick and find the celebrities born in May. There are quite many. So I see James Charles, an Instagram star, Hill Harper, a TV actor. Wow, Passenger. Only know you love her when you let her go. Rock singer. He's also a Mayborn. Passenger is such an intentional writer. Intentional musician. I don't know if he writes his songs himself, but then every music of Passengers that I have listened to, you can hear that the guy, the man, the person is trying to say something methodologically. There's some people you listen to and they're probably not audible enough for you to even hear. And there are also some people you listen to that their words are just like ramblings, no meaning. Passenger's words are different. The notes, I was learning how to play one of his songs, the chords he's using different. Nigga is intentional about what he's saying. So, yeah. Enya, OMG, the Braveheart singer. Enya is dynamic. Enya is different. I think Enya was born May 14th to May 26th. Why I say so is because she's not the type of person who wants her face to be out there a lot. So I think she's the type of person that prefers interpersonal relationships more. So yeah, all my favorite celebrities, some of my favorite celebrities are born on May 14th. Look who was born on May 14th. Mark Zuckerberg. No, I didn't say that Enya was born on May 14th. I just say, given what I think I know about her, it should be around that first group of Taurus. Mark Zuckerberg is an entrepreneur who runs a business that has to do with connecting people, interpersonal relationship. He runs a business that has to do with giving people comfort. Mindless scrolling on Instagram and Facebook gives a lot of people comfort. The nigga be living his best life. Kate Blanchett, movie actress. I love a movie. There's this movie she acted. I can't really remember the name of the movie. Carol. She embodied that character like I couldn't draw a line between the both of them. I couldn't. So if I were to pick, I would say she was probably born around June. But then I don't know. Angela Johnson. Wow. She's a comedian. May 14th. Angela said it's all about her relationship with her husband. To show you that relationships are important with her. Now she has a child. So, yeah. Basically. Wow, cool. I've learned a lot today about these celebrities. So now to the bonus part of the whole drama. What happens when the new moon this new moon is actually called super moon, and it's in Taurus. So what happens when the moon is in Taurus and the sun is in Taurus? Well, polarity says that the sun is masculine and the moon is feminine. So just imagine your father and your mother were the same person. What would your household be like? When the father is different from the mother, you can always go to the mother for things you cannot go to the father for. And you can always go to the father for things you cannot go to the mother for. But when they're the same person, you either go outside or you own up, you man up, and go to them. Now you fully well that you don't just have the support of one person, you have the support of two people. Taurus is not asking you to do anything. It's funny because people born when the sun is in Taurus, they want to do a lot. Sleep is difficult for them sometimes. They don't like sleeping. Sleeping is not something that they are like, put that on my to-do list. No. They want to work. Yeah, the hard workers of the zodiac sign. And that is not what Taurus is about. Taurus is not about working blindly. Taurus is about aligned work. What's the frequency? What's the work of 741 hertz? Conversations, communications, talk. What's the frequency of 639? Heart, relationships. It's not asking you to do a lot of things. It's just asking you to show up. Taurus is asking you to show up. Show up for that abundance in whatever it is you're trying to manifest. I'm trying to manifest some good rest right now after this voice note, the podcast, or whatever this turns out to be. Lie down on the bed, close your eyes, let it be. Breathe. Let it be. Show up. And you have the sun blessing you. You have the moon blessing you. Just show up, man. That's what Taurus energy is actually about. Taurus energy is not for you to work. Those workaholic Taurus are dealing with trauma. I'm not saying just slant on the calf and blah blah blah. Not because slanting on the calf is bad. I'm saying aligned work. Aligned work. Stop thinking what people have to say about you. Stop thinking, how would this be received? No. Think about one thing and one thing alone. This thing, does it interest you? This thing, does it help you to live a more fulfilling life? Yes, yes, and yes. Show up for it. How to manifest in 24 hours is not your business. Your business should be how to show up for your manifestation in 24 hours. That should be your business. Good night, bros, because I'm going to bed. And I don't know, might have to record this again because I'm using bedroom voice to talk, but then it is what it is. Good night.